Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, a survival story that will touch your heart. We meet a pair of little lambs who have the odds stacked against them. How a Suncoast rescue is doing what they can to give these siblings a shot at a good life. And we meet Cairo, a domesticated dromedary. He's got quite the personality and moves for days. We're learning all about this beloved camel. Plus, a little later in the show, we're up close with this tarantula, seeing how its distinctive traits make it a species that's hard not to love, even if it's from a distance. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. They're called the ships of the desert, camels. They're large hoofed mammals known for their ability to conserve water. Their distinctive eyelashes and notable humps make them easy to recognize. These animals play a big part in human history, dating back thousands of years. So we wanted to learn a little more about one of these domesticated dromedaries, and the Second Chance Ranch and Rescue was more than happy to help. In this week's Outdoor Classroom segment, we meet Cairo.
So this is Cairo. He probably thinks your camera is a bottle. So Cairo is a 6-month-old dromedary baby camel. He's actually a bottle baby, and he's going to continue to be a bottle baby. Dromedary has 1 hump. Bactrians have 2 humps. They can live up to 40 years, and their actual gestation is 15 months, which is long. It's a long time. So the eyelashes are usually as far as keeping sand out of their eyes type of thing. They first developed camels about 4,000 years ago in the Arabic Peninsula. So these guys are actually pack animals. So they can travel up to 50 miles a day. Alexander the Great traveled about 50 miles a day on these guys. These guys are actually made to carry people, carry heavy loads. These guys actually can lose 30% of their body weight in water. That's what the humps are for. And they can go a month without food and water. What they learn about actually is obviously, about camels, and it's no. You can get up close and personal with these guys, and just kind of learn about the history of them. And like I said, they were made for to be pack animals, as far as mules, donkeys, horses, that kind of thing.
I see you. Okay. Tell me about, are there myths? Do they spit?
They do. They absolutely do, but these guys don't. So, they can spit. Just like the llamas that we have, they absolutely can spit when they're angry, but they don't. And then what's really cool too is they've got this hard right here. It's kind of like, if you feel it, it's kind of hard. It's when they put their legs up under them. When they lay to sit. And actually the pads of their feet, they've got hooves, but they're real soft. It's real soft pads. So what's cool about camels too is they are actually herd protectors. So you can see them chasing any animal that's not supposed to be in this area out, like the cat. The cat got chased this morning. So, something's not supposed to be in this area, they'll definitely take care of it. But he's actually a pretty rare chocolate color. So he's chocolate, and our other one is just a regular brown. He actually came from him, and we try and keep our animals. We try and keep animals together. He is actually him and Winston actually came from a petting zoo, exotic petting zoo that was closing down in Lakeland. So we tried to get as many animals as we could to keep together. Camels are herd animals, so they in the wild live up to 20 animals, and these guys were together as a pair. So we wanted to keep them and the llamas together, and that kind of thing. It's very important to keep animals together, I think, when they're, bonded and, from a place. if you can touch it and you can feel it and you can kiss it and you can love on it, you're gonna go home and you're going to research it. You're going to look into the conservation of it. You're going to look into the diet of it and you know, that's all the cool fun facts about it. But getting up close, personal, and touching is what my whole thing is creating that bond between a human and an animal. You gotta touch them. You gotta feel them, you gotta love on them, you gotta give them kisses. You gotta give them kisses. So, he's 6 months. And he actually loads in a truck. So we have video of him. If you open the truck, he'll actually get into the back seat of a truck and scoot his legs and lay down in the back of a truck. Like, that's how we transport him, which is hilarious. That's Copper, that's sunning himself. And him and Copper have on again, off again relationship. And then he's got Ace, who is a llama. And then he's got Ava, who's also a llama. And then he's got his buddy Winston over here. So Winston, he and Winston are usually in the same paddock together. These guys love dust baths too. So like out here, they're constantly laying and doing dust baths. So yeah, this is a lot of the animals that we have here at Second Chance Ranch are, you know, very much geared towards heat. You know, our sulcata tortoises and our rock hyrax, and you know, this is an amazing climate, you know, for these guys. Waiting for his bottle. Yeah. So little camels, actually baby camels do that. It's like someone's like, is there something wrong? I'm like, no, he's waiting for his bottle. He's, you know, but it looks like he's doing like a little dance. But as you can see, he doesn't do that throughout the day. He does that waiting on feed. So at the shoulder, the males get about 7 foot. So the dromedaries get pretty big. In fact, Winston's pretty big, but Winston's gonna get even way bigger than that. We are going to start training him. He is a gelding. You do want to get them gelded, because if you do not, they go through what's called a rut, and they're extremely dangerous to people and other animals. They can kill other animals. So that's really important for them and their health. So these guys are on, they eat sweet feed, but they also have sweet potatoes, they eat bananas, they eat mangoes. You know, we do a lot of different, you know, produce, but hay is actually their main source. They eat high quality hay, you know, and that's their main source diet, but they are supplemented with different things because, you know, they're spoiled.
For how you can learn more about Cairo and the animals at Second Chance Ranch and Rescue, go to secondchanceranchfl.com. And now we segue to a survival story. Along with ambassadors like Cairo, the Second Chance Ranch also takes in animals that are in desperate need of rehabilitative care. Animals like this pair of little lambs. Volunteers are fighting to give them a good quality of life, something all animals deserve.
All right, who we have here, these guys actually were surrendered to us about 2 weeks ago. This is Helen and Keller and their baby sheep that were born with no eyes. So what happened is the mom and dad are brother and sister, which is what throws these horrible genetics. So the owners called us for help. Keller is actually has no eyelids, or she has no eyes. And then Keller actually has no eyes, plus she's deaf as well. So they have a multitude of issues. We don't actually know, you know, internally what's wrong with them. So for now, you know, we've got these as bottle babies. We're feeding a couple times a day. So we're just going to give them the best life possible for as long as they have. And they're actually in great shape. You know, their brother, they were one of triplets. The brother is in great shape. Here's the thing. They're not in any pain. They're not, you know, they have a good quality of life. As long as things have a good quality of life, I will give them that good quality of life. Once an animal does not, then obviously that should be the end of the line, you know, for the animal. So basically they were adjusted and just kind of checked out as far as well-being. Chiropractic care is great for all of the animals, especially like the younger animals. And these guys actually, we were having a problem with Keller actually eating, and since we took her to Trilogy to be adjusted, she's eating, she's gaining weight, like she's actually responding like a baby lamb should. So that made a huge issue. I thought we were gonna lose her. Like she was being raised by her mom. This one was being raised inside. So it took that adjustment to kind of get her neurologically where she needs to be so that she could suckle and that she could actually, because they were spinning in circles. So, so everything's all balanced and they're actually growing and gaining weight and acting like baby lambs should. I think first of all, people need to learn that, obviously it's very important not to breed brother and sister together. That is the biggest thing, keeping that separation. And here's the thing, it's the same thing as us with people, we're born with disabilities. We're born with that kind of, God made people in every shape, size, and color. So, we can learn a lot, I think, from these guys as far as compassion. So these girls will, they'll have a great life together as twins, and, they'll be part of, our outreach program as far as education goes and that kind of thing.
Coming up next on Animal Outtakes, we go from warm and fuzzy to a little creepy and crawly. We're learning about this tarantula and why we should all care, even if certain species of spiders make us a little jumpy. That's next.
Good morning, Mr. Benson. Your breakfast is served.
Time for another day in Doggy Paradise. I sure am one lucky pup.
Mr. Benson, would you like to go out for your morning stroll? The weather is quite lovely today.
That sounds wonderful. Don't mind if I do. After all that exercise, I think I'd like to lounge by the pool and maybe dip my paws in.
As you wish, sir. Right this way.
What a perfect day. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else but Dantes Den while Mom and Dad are away.
At Dantes Den, we pride ourselves in providing the best experience for your beloved pup. Whether it be a day, a month, or a year, Dantes Den should always be at the top of your list for boarding. With an expansive campus, your dog will enjoy daily walks, pool time, and an endless supply of love. Even better, it's all under 24/7 supervision from our wonderful staff. If you're anything like us, your dog's safety and happiness come first. To learn more about Dantes Den, visit dantesden.org.
Okay, so now we have a tarantula. And is this a girl or a boy?
This one is a girl. This is an Arizona blonde tarantula. They are the largest species of tarantula in the United States, largest species of spider in the United States also. They grow up to 7 inches, and they live in the southwest U.S.
And how do they fit into our ecosystem? What does a tarantula do all day?
So a tarantula all day, they sit in their burrow and pretty much do nothing. But at nighttime, they come out and hunt for food. So most of the time they'll just sit and wait at the entrance of their burrows for something to come by. They're ambush predators, which means they're going to sit in one spot and wait for something, and then they're going to move really fast and pounce, and then they're going to go back to that spot.
So they're nocturnal.
They are nocturnal.
And with their coloring, that would be very difficult to see at night, right?
Very difficult.
Now, would you recommend that somebody have that as a pet?
If you're into tarantulas and you do your research, then this is the species that I recommend to everybody looking to get a tarantula. They are very, very docile. As you can see, she's super calm. They're not very expensive, and they're very easy to take care of.
Now, you've many times mentioned, do your research. Do your research. What are we really looking for when you say do your research?
So you're looking for care information. You want to get it from multiple sources. You don't want to just go to one site and look up, how do I take care of this tarantula? Because not everybody gets it right. I don't get everything right. So don't take everything I'm saying to heart. Take it with a grain of salt. But I just want you to do your research on how to take care of the animal, about the animal. They're great pets because, I mean, first of all, they're great display animals. It's pretty cool to be able to say, hey, I have a tarantula. And they're also just, they're so graceful. They're very slow moving for the most part. And they're just fun to have.
As I sit here and I watch you handle all of these interesting animals, how did you get involved in this? What made you, did you wake up one morning and say, this is what I'm going to do? I want a tarantula?
I've been into this for most of my life. I remember asking my parents for my 5th birthday to get a tarantula. Obviously the answer was no.
Yes.
But I've just been into it. I've continued to research about them and learn more about them, and I'm just...
But there's something that must draw you to these. As for me, dogs, I'm drawn to dogs. But you're drawn to something unusual. What is it that you're really looking for in these guys?
Well, I feel like I want to teach people about them, and they're so misunderstood. All the movies and TV shows, they portray spiders and snakes and these animals as just something that wants to come and bite you. But they're really not. They want to mind their own business, and as long as you're fine with them, they're fine with you. So I just want to understand the misunderstood.
Alrighty.
So what you're going to do is just going to hold your hand out just like that. It's going to feel like some tiny fingers. Yeah, you can hold your hand out, just one if you want.
Now, what is her name? You have
She doesn't have a name yet. I'm very bad at naming my animals. Most of my animals are named by other people.
Well, she's very dainty, very light on her feet. Mm-hmm. She's just adorable.
Would you want her as a pet?
Well, I would have to consider that. I don't think I'd give you an answer today. Stick around, there's more Animal Outtakes coming up next.
Good morning, Mr. Benson. Your breakfast is served.
Time for another day in Doggy Paradise. I sure am one lucky pup.
Mr. Benson, would you like to go out for your morning stroll? The weather is quite lovely today.
That sounds wonderful. Don't mind if I do. After all that exercise, I think I'd like to lounge by the pool and maybe dip my paws in.
As you wish, sir. Right this way.
What a perfect day. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else but Dantes Den while Mom and Dad are away.
At Dantes Den, we pride ourselves in providing the best experience for your beloved pup. Whether it be a day, a month, or a year, Dantes Den should always be at the top of your list for boarding. With an expansive campus, your dog will enjoy daily walks, pool time, and an endless supply of love. Even better, it's all under 24/7 supervision from our wonderful staff. If you're anything like us, your dog's safety and happiness come first. To learn more about Dantes Den, visit dantesden.org.
And now we head back to the Second Chance Ranch to meet a lemur that's got a whole lot of love.
This is Moose. Moose is a 9-month-old tricolor lemur. So these guys are actually considered old world primates. So because they all originated on the same continent, and these guys ended up in Madagascar. So there's 5 different species of lemurs, and we're gonna get a photo bomb from our Camel Cairo. So these guys are considered old world primates. Chimpanzees, monkeys, gorillas, everything else is considered, all the other monkeys are considered new world primates. So these guys are really cool. As you can see their hands, he's got hands like we do. Thumbs, fingers, fingernails. So these guys are actually susceptible to all of the stuff that we're susceptible as well. So, you know. So this guy's actually another one from the closing down petting zoo in Lakeland. So we wanted to, he was used for interactions. We tried to get his brother, but so far we haven't been able to get his brother. But we are still working on that. So, but this guy came to us, and he actually came to us named Murphy, and we changed it to Moose. So But he goes, he's one of our ambassadors, and he goes to events and parties and everything. You know, another thing, hands-on conservation. You know, you're gonna go and you're gonna look them up and you're gonna wanna get involved in the conservation, because you know what? These guys are critically endangered. So what's gonna happen pretty soon is you're not gonna be able to see them anywhere but in zoos and facilities. So, yes, so actually we have ringtail lemurs. Ringtail lemurs are great until they hit about 2 years old and they get really aggressive. The ruffed lemurs are actually pretty good throughout their lives until the mating season. He was actually, obviously, as you can see, was used for interaction, so that's why he is as friendly as he is. He's afraid of the camel, so we're gonna back away from Cairo. He gets a little grumpy as far as that goes. Oh, I know, I just wanna run around. He'll actually lay on his back and you can tickle him and he goes, ah, like that. So it's really, really cute. But usually he's on a harness, but you know, he's not gonna go anywhere. He's a mama's boy. Say hi. Hi, we spend a lot of time with him.
As always, in order to own exotic species like this lemur, you must have the proper license, and more than anything else, do your research, because these animals deserve it. And we'll be right back. It's a birthday to top all top dogs. Dantes Den Foundation is spreading the sunshine and the love. We're celebrating down home with a party, 10 years in the making. Join us February 24th from 3 to 6 p.m. Enjoy a doggy fashion show, plus the crowd favorite Best Dress and Best Kiss, and the naming of Top Dog 2024. For more information on tickets, go to dantesden.org.
Did you know Mode is caring for more than 2,000 genotypes of corals? And that represents the single largest collection of coral genetic diversity outside of Mother Nature herself? The more you know about everything Mode's doing to help our oceans, the more you'll understand why Mode matters.
Animal Outtakes is produced by Dantes Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dantes Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org. We hope you had fun and learned a thing or two along the way. And we'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some engaging encounters. Until then, thanks for watching